Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the half hour of power, the Wild West Show. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got a great show lined up for you guys today. So let's go ahead and get this party started. Let's bring out the man with the plan, with the world in his hand, trying to get you to understand he's taking over the land in the north, the south, the east, and the Wild West. Ladies and gentlemen, Wes Ellen.
Joe.
Yes, sir.
How you doing tonight?
Doing great.
People are at home. I'm glad you're doing good. I hope you're ready for a good episode. Joe, who we got tonight?
Oh, we got a special card lined up for you tonight.
You got a special card for him?
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Independent horror film producer, Jaysen Buterin.
Jaysen Buterin.
Yes.
We got him on. No, we got him on the show.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Jay.
Yep.
Oh man, listen, ladies and gentlemen, you are in for a treat tonight. Oh man, I'm getting excited. I can't believe I ain't got my hair fixed. I'm looking good right now. Listen, I'm tore up.
All right. Let's do it.
Listen, Joe, you ready to start this
Let's
show?
do it.
Listen, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll have Jaysen Buterin come right out after this. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. I just want to say thank you for the views and everything. And just remember, please like and subscribe because that helps me out tremendous. Thank you.
Didn't teach stock market classes in school, so if you're confused about the stock market, you are not alone. There are many ways to get started with tons of choices. If you are serious about investing and planning for your future and the future of your children, then you may want to enlist the help of a professional. John Mazza of Southeast Financial Services is there to answer your questions in a way that is easy to understand. Give him a call today. Securities and investment advisory services are offered solely through Emeritus Investment Corp., member FINRA SIPC.
How you doing tonight?
Living the dream. L-I-V-I-N.
Man.
Hello, internets.
Just look. Amazing. Tearing us all up. Jaysen, listen.
Yes, sir.
We got you on the show tonight.
Yes.
I got the burning question for you. This is what everybody wants to
Dive
know.
right in. No foreplay. We're just getting right into business. Okay.
Right down the middle.
Fair. The nitty gritty. Lay it on me.
What's your favorite taco?
Jack in the Box.
Jack in the Box.
I know, it's the most unholy thing. I've committed to conic blasphemy. I grew up in St. Louis, Missouri. Like, there were literal Jack in the Boxes on every corner.
Yeah.
So for me, I know that's sort of like the anti-taco for so many people out there. And to the taco community at large, I apologize from the bottom of my artery-clogged heart. But yeah, they're just really, they dropped the entire thing. We can curse on the show, right? Like R-rating.
Well, we'll edit that, but no.
Well, you bleep it out. Excellent. Bleeping sound effects. I love ADR sound effects. They drop the entire thing in grease, and then they serve it to you, and it's just like it eats through the paper. And
Yeah.
It's beautiful. Yeah, and it's like, it's the weird kind of meat that's meat in Chef Boyardee.
Yeah.
Like it's meat flavored,
That
but no one's
sounds
really
good.
sure where or what it comes from. Really well done. They've always been 2 for 99 cents. So I mean, it's it's economically viable. And it's just it's a strong solution that makes America great again. I think.
Sounds like the wood.
Tacos make America great again. It doesn't matter what political party you are.
You got
you
that
believe in tacos, tacos will believe in you.
Take you from day one. But Jaysen, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm 5'10". I have dark hair, blue eyes. My turn-ons are people who use coasters, long walks on the beach. None of that is true. I do like the coaster thing. People that don't use coasters and other shit.
You got that.
But no, I've born and raised in St. Louis, Missouri.
All
Been living in North Carolina since 2000. Followed a girl here, married her. So it ends really well.
What a deal.
She still hasn't told me to fuck off yet, which is really, really nice. Hi, sweetie pie. And then, yeah, I've got a real grown-up job. I work at an academic institution, by day, and then make movies by night.
What a deal.
And then I also have a band called the Malamandos, which,
nice.
makes a lot of fun rock and roll.
What a deal.
And in the meantime, I try and stay out of trouble. Although she always seems to know where I am at all times.
You
I
got
don't
the
know.
full Monty.
I think I've got a tag or a chip in me somewhere.
There
Full
you
Monty Python, that is true, sir.
There
There's
you
a
go.
little bunny rabbit with ferocious teeth like this.
What a deal.
Yes. I forgot, did that answer the question, or was it what do I do? Who am I?
You answered the question plus more.
I abuse profanity and rum and ellipses and alliteration, all with equal zeal. So if that helps out.
Helps out tremendous.
My brain goes faster than my mouth can keep up. I don't know who's writing most of the stuff half the time, but it does really well and people seem to like it.
Hey, doing great right now.
So yeah, I'm like, yeah.
There you go, man. Let me tell you, how long, we're talking about, dealing with the film and everything. How long have you been in the business dealing with that?
The business. Well, that seems to imply making some sort of money somewhere at some point. Which we've done really well. Independent film. I sort of fell into it in 2006.
Okay.
Because I've been with my beautiful golden goddess of a wife. We've been together for about 6 years, and she finally reached a point where she got tired of hearing me bitch about movies. Excuse me, because I've been a writer most of my adult life.
Okay.
Well, all of my adult life, even part of my kid life. I've written, I've done columns, written novels, books, magazine articles. I was a music journalist for a long time and stuff like that. but would always find problems with the story. I'm like, it would have been so much better if it had just ended 5 minutes shorter, if they'd done this or whatever. And she finally got tired of listening to me about it. She's like, well, all right, you do it, 10. Shut up.
Okay.
So being, the infallibility of feminine wiles being what they are, I was like, oh, okay then. So I did. I found a motley group of friends that wanted to help me out. We did the 48-hour film project, which is a fantastic competition for anyone who has a love of film, whether you want to be a filmmaker or you just want to see what the fuss is all about. The 48 hours is amazing. And if you don't know what it is, it's a international competition, but you put a team of people together, and every team in different cities around the country, the world. There's all sorts of genres that you find out, but 7:30 on a Friday night, you draw a genre, so you get like a required line of dialogue, a required prop, and a required character name, and every team has 48 literal hours to make a 4 to 7 minute film. So you find all this stuff. It's Friday at 7:30. You turn it in Sunday at 7:30.
All right.
And it's
so a trial. It's 48 hours.
It's a trial by fire. Like you've got to write it Friday night. Shoot everything Saturday. It's a fantastic exercise in film for sure. But we did that, and we got like an honorable mention for the screenplay, which was amazing because all I did was hand the actors like a 5-page prose paragraph, no formatting. I don't even think I had sentence breaks. So she's like, I'm a screenwriter. And apparently there were things like formatting and structure and stuff like that.
Stuff they don't tell you.
Yeah, the stuff that's in the books that I've never read. But yeah, we just sort of I caught the bug from there. Like that kind of poured the 151 on the fire. That just everything sort of went up, and I got the bug after that. Yeah, I just wanted to do more. We sort of started off doing the 48-hour every year, and that was kind of the only thing we would do. And then we sort of got away from that because we just started the independent film. Really, just took on a life of its own.
I want to do. Now you're talking about writing. Now, did you also do acting as well?
Yeah, I act for a lot of people. I've been lucky to act in quite a few award-winning short films the last couple of years. Christopher Moore's Knobgoblins, Kelly McClung Loop, Born Again by Jaysen Buterin, The Handsome People I get to play. Yeah, some absolutely just amazing roles. I can't act in anything I write. Like I don't have that skill set to direct to direct and be in front of the camera at the same time. Like I want to be able to silent Bob myself. That would be awesome, but I don't have that yet. So yeah, I love acting for other people. I tend to get typecast. It's usually Rob Zombie's little brother, or that guy from the Black Crowes, or you feel my pain.
Yeah.
You get the doppelganger dilemma all the time. Yeah.
Hey, we pick it up.
People mistake you for a svelte Ben Affleck. I mean, I get that a lot. It's just like I'm not that guy. Yeah, you feel my pain. But yeah, acting is always fun. I just sort of started off while I was the class clown at school. Yeah. Like the misfit kids didn't really fit in anywhere, so I just sort of made friends with everybody, and that's kind of what kept my ass from getting kicked by anybody. Yeah. And it just sort of it grew from there.
There you go. Well, let's see.
Yes.
Where do you get some of your inspiration from?
Inspiration. Ironically, maybe so much not really the real world. The real world is far too frightening. There's too much madness, badness, and sadness in the world already.
Right.
No, it really, really is. Especially as a horror filmmaker. I mean, that's sort of one of the disheartening things I think sometimes is because you can turn on CNN or you can watch something on your phone that's going to have more gore, more blood, more atrocities than anything that we could ever have a budget to be able to film. So it's like, how do you top that? How do you actually get an audience member to pay attention, to put their phone down and sit somewhere and watch something for longer than 5 minutes or 10 minutes? So that's always been a goal as a filmmaker, which was not the question. What was the question again? I forgot. I got excited. I got thinking about cell phones.
Hey, listen, you was going down the right way. You was getting me excited.
I know. Let's say the brain keeps up. It'll hit me in like 2 minutes again.
Oh yeah, where you get your
inspiration from? Yes. Well, a large part of it has to be. I have the most beautiful boy in the world, Jack Thomas. He's 6 years old, blonde hair, blue eyes, absolute. He's the angel on the devil's shoulder, as I like to refer to him, or Stormageddon, the Dark Lord of all. But that's going to get tricky when he starts filling that in on standardized tests in elementary school because there's probably not enough boxes.
Kind of carry over.
Yeah, no, I get inspiration from him. I mean, he's fantastic. He's 6 years old, and the things the way his brain works just amazes me on an hourly basis. So a lot from that. I mean, I've got a master's degree in literature, so I mean, I've always had that very literal literary love. So I mean, I grew up reading Poe and stuff like that. I grew up reading classic ghost stories and sort of Victorian Gothic horror. So I've always had a love of that. The Universal horror movies and stuff like that were a huge inspiration. So I tend to pull from a lot of that. The Twilight Zone was a huge influence on me. I mean, the things that Rod Serling could do, and the stories that man could tell in 30 minutes or in 60 minutes were just amazing, and there's never been anything like it. So I pull just a lot of influence, a lot of inspiration from that. I mean, just I tend to sort of not really hide. I'm not a hermit, but especially once I have my beautiful boy, I tend to just to stay in more. So I get a lot of inspiration from him, and then having, you know, brilliant friends like John Massive, and having shows and outlets like this to be able to come on and stuff like that, like it's all inspiring. You know, I mean, the fact that this is even being made is inspiring. You know,
That's
it's cool. I mean, because so many people out there that always they want to be able to do something. They'll always talk a fantastic game. They might even have a really big Facebook webpage or something like that. But it's like, I mean, all it is it's talk, it's hyperbole, it's everything that's going to happen, not what you're actually doing now.
Yeah.
So the fact that, I mean, yeah, we're going to be doing this, it's going to be broadcast on the zeros and ones and stuffed in all the internet tubes. I mean, it's amazing, yeah. You guys inspire me. You inspire me, internet.
You inspire us.
Not you. That guy. Not you. No. Those people are cool. Not that guy. Fuck that guy.
How about Beanie over there?
You know what that guy did. That guy's cool, yeah.
Yeah,
And
Beanie.
then, of course, all the clowns can up and die. Because you're going to die. But we'll get to that later.
Listen, we got more.
Floppy-footed.
Give me 12. Listen, it's getting too hot. We got to take a commercial break. We're going to come back more with Jaysen. I can't help it. We got to take a commercial.
At Hero Clash Collectible, we offer a wide variety of items, including comics, Pokemon cards, Yu-Gi-Oh! And Magic the Gathering cards, plus a great selection of action figures. Every Wednesday, new comics arrive, so come on out to 217 9th Street in historic downtown North Wilkesboro today. Or give us a call at 336-818-1880 to start your comic subscription and save up to 15% off cover prices.
Thank you for coming back. I got the legendary Jaysen Buterin here. The man right here.
Hi, everybody.
He's over, man. Listen, I gotta
It's
know.
really good for the ego. It's like, I feel pretty now. I feel very pretty.
You are.
All right. Oh, you're pretty too.
Every time I have a beer trying to cover that blushing.
Gotcha.
I know.
I dig it. I'm in the same facial predicament as yours.
What a deal. Gotta know though.
Yes, sir.
What are some of your favorite horror films?
Horror films. Oh, dear guys. Number one with a bullet for me is always The Exorcist.
Yeah.
That movie, you know, the first time, it's always tied. It's like a 51-49 split between The Exorcist and Psycho. I remember the first time I saw both movies, I mean, it just really, really unhinged me. First time I saw Psycho, I was 8. And I did very good. You know, I dealt with everything and stuff. I understood what was going on, and then got to the very last scene. Excuse me, where it's like Anthony Perkins in the interrogation room, and you hear the voiceover of the mother, and all like he's looking down, and he just looks up at the camera, and that little look up, just I fucking lost it, dude. I'm like, oh my! Like I'm running around the house. I was like, you're having an aneurysm. I'm like, that was so cool. She's like, it was. Don't say fuck. I'm like, sorry. But yeah, I mean, just mind blowing for me. So I think that sort of that opened me up, or opened my mind up to storytelling.
Yeah.
And then The Exorcist, you know, just I think part of my love for that is just I've always romanticized the reaction I got when it came out. You know, to be able to see like the newsreel footage, to be able to see people who are, you know, running up the aisle, you know, puking, screaming, crying, and shooting themselves all at once. Because they're having such a visceral reaction to that movie. And especially for '73 when it came out, I mean, it's just like, you know, I think it's always been a goal of mine, certainly as a filmmaker, as a storyteller, but as a filmmaker, to be able to reach an audience that viscerally to where they connect with it. I mean, not necessarily to evoke, you know, losing control of all your bodily functions at one time, because it's like, yeah, I want them to stay through the movie, and they would have to leave, and they would miss important parts, and my dialogue is really fucking good, so I don't want them pooping the pants just yet.
Yeah.
If that's like an after effect later, I can't be held responsible for the machinations that they get into in their own cars. But I mean, that story, the way it was shot, everything about it has always been at the top for me.
Okay.
I mean, it's such a fantastic. So it's frightening to an unparalleled degree, because I mean, you don't ever see the monster. You hardly ever see Pazuzu. I mean, the only time you show it, it's a little statue like this. It's buried in the sand in the desert, you know. And then they, depending on which cut you see, the little flashes that they dropped and peppered in and stuff like that. I mean, you go 45 minutes into the movie before you really know who the monster is. But like it built up so much suspense. And Psycho is the same way. I mean, Hitchcock. I mean, everything that man did was damn near brilliant. And especially Anthony Perkins. I mean, I love that story so much. John Carpenter's original Halloween has always been at the top of my list too, because I mean that movie was just brilliant. The first 14 minutes being just sort of one continuous shot and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I remember like one of the first times I'd seen that, like I had the puzzling question of how did he learn how to drive? Like, you know, you see Michael, and, you know, he's killed the people. He's 5 or 6, and then he goes to the institution. And then you cut, like 12 years later, and then he steals a car and drives away. And granted, it was an automatic, it was a station wagon, not the most difficult thing to figure out, but it's like these are the days before pole position or Grand Theft Auto or anything, so he just automatically figured out how to drive a car and then drove away. Like, that part always bothered me. But it's still just an absolutely brilliant film. John Carpenter's score, I mean, writing the score for that, it's so simple and so fucking creepy and equally as compelling a monster, I think, as Michael Myers was. I mean, just, absolutely amazing. The original Alien is still terrifying to this day. I still, damn near, start shitting kittens when the original John Hurt moment, even though I know it's coming up.
Yeah.
I think again, and sort of tie in, another one is always The Third Exorcist, the one that had George C. Scott in there.
Yeah.
The William Peter Blood Edicts. I mean, there's the scene with the nurse and the statue and all, like, still freaks me out. I've got goosebumps right now thinking about it. So, these movies that I've seen tens and maybe hundreds of times and stuff like that still evoke that reaction for me. I get excited thinking about those. So I mean, ultimately, to be able to think that someday I might be able to be a part of something that would evoke some sort of similar reaction from somebody else. It's just, I mean, it's an amazing thing. Yeah. To really think about it. So, I mean, even to think about the people that are out in the internet lands watching this later, and it's just like, hey, what are you doing? Like, I mean, it's just like, wow, you're watching us. That's amazing. Yeah. There's so many boobs out there, and you're choosing to spend time with. We're talking about the Topless Taco Bar later. We'll go there. It's fantastic. It's 2 for 1. 2 for 1 Thursday. Except it's Wednesday. No, it's Thursday.
It's Thursday.
Okay, yeah, we're good.
All right. Well, going on with that, what are some of the movies you've done?
We've done a few. We've done a few. We started off the one that we did where we got that honorable mention at 48 Hour. That was called Z-Day.
Okay.
And then from there we did The Devil's Tramping Ground, which I wanted to do like a North Carolina specific ghost story.
Yeah.
And I spent a lot of time doing research, just trying to be able to find something that was very, very specific to that. And the two things I could come up with was like Lydia the Underpass Girl or something like that, the Overpass. And I mean, there's one of those in every, like that wasn't specific to North Carolina. But I ended up reading about the legend of the Devil's Tramping Ground, which is supposed to be outside of Siler City. And supposedly dates back to the 1700s, where the origin story was that the devil would walk around in a circle at night, plotting out the machinations of all the world's evil and stuff like that. Yeah. So there was supposed to be this 40-foot circle where no plants, nothing would ever grow. If you fall asleep inside the circle, you wake up and your stuff's scattered for 50 feet in every direction. It's supposed to be this just all the descriptions I could find online. These are people, and this was 2006. I mean, largely before even the internet had tended to flourish as much as it had. But people with all these horror stories about they camped out there with their friends. They woke up and they were scattered 6 miles in every direction. And, I mean, it just sounded like this place of ultimate arcane, pure evil. Yeah. And that's fantastic. Like the devil walks around in a circle, and there's so much you could do with that. So I got all excited. And we rounded up my friends and we drove out to the side of the city, and we couldn't find the place where it was supposed to be that this one guy's webpage blog said it was. So we backtracked, and then we found Bartles and James out in front of the general store. Asked them where the Devil's Tramping Ground was. And we got a very convoluted answer. They had a lot of yachts, and he's like, go down to the road till you get to the house where the rock used to be, and we're like, don't know where that is. But we ended up finding it. So I found a couple of markers and stuff like that. We sort of hiked through the woods, and we found this like 4-foot burn pit with a bunch of Schlitz boxes and whatever used prophylactics had been there since, I don't know, the last time Skinner came through the area. And I was like, this can't possibly, this isn't scary. Like, I'm scared to touch anything here, but it wasn't evil enough. Yeah. So I was convinced that it had to be further in. So like an hour later, we're like knee deep in tits down in like Farmer Brown's pasture, and we had to hike back to the car, so it was very, very convoluted. So we sort of made our own, but that was a fun film. It's a 45-minute film, the worst length ever because it's way too long to be a short film and not long enough to be a feature. Yeah. But it was a trial by fire, and that was one of the last things where I sort of served as a writer, and I kind of got more into directing after that. We did a series of shorts called ZSAs, the Zombie Service Announcements. Mm-hmm. We did a few of those. There was one called Flipper Stripper Vixens at the Inferno a Go-Go, which is sort of like my little grindhouse tribute. So it's like a 4.5-minute short film. The Maritrix came to me. I had Flipper Stripper Vixens, so they had little gills and stuff like that, but they were strippers, and they had hearts of gold. It was a family-friendly film. I mean, the Mansons are a family, so I mean, it technically counts. But we did that, and then we sort of got into a 4-year period of our life known as the Gospel Years. Yeah. Excuse me. One of the short films that we did for the 48 Hours called Booze, Bullets, and Hot Pink Jesus, which was a title that I wanted to write a Social Distortion song one night at band practice, and that just sort of seemed like a really good Social Distortion title. And then we ended up doing a 48-hour film off of it, which was Award Ignored. But I kept sort of chewing on the idea, and again, being obsessed with the Twilight Zone, like, one of the things I loved about what Rod Serling could do is he would take these seemingly innocuous and simple objects and invoke them with a great preternatural power, like a camera that could take pictures of the future. So
Yeah.
I had this little statue, I had this little idol, literally idol, not a metaphorical or misused use of the word literal, but a literal use of the literal word, literally, sitting on my mantelpiece. So it's like, I thought, and the beautiful thing about it is it has a little magic 8-ball in the bum. So it can kind of predict, I was like, what if there was this little magic 8-ball and it could sort of predict your future and change your fortune? And I started thinking about all these various elements, good guys, bad guys, somewhere in between guys. And, everybody's out to get the hot pink Jesus because they think it can change their life. And it does, but, it gives you everything you ever wanted, but never in the way you thought you would get it, or never for as long as you thought you would have it. So we set out to do that. And I wanted to make a trilogy. So we made a trilogy. It's 3 separate short films. Each are about maybe 30, 35 minutes, 45 minutes, something like that. So overall, it's about an hour and 45 minutes when all 3 are put together. But wrote all 3 of the scripts out. We shot the first one, and then we shot the third one, and we came back and did the second one because I'm crap at math. But that was a 4-year labor of love. And we learned, that's what helped inspire or helped make me a filmmaker, especially the filmmaker that I am today, because it really brought a lot of the core elements that would become Mad One's films together in terms of cast and crew and stuff like that. After that, we did Between Hell and a Hard Place, which is my homage, my love story to the Twilight Zone. It's a 25-minute black and white ghost story. 2 hitmen driving out the desert to bury body, and shit starts to get creepy.
Oh, nice.
So that was we had so much fun. We shot that in Monroe County, and we had like a 63 Bonneville and then a 62. We had 2 cars that were just gorgeous.
Nice.
Gorgeous. So that was a really fun weekend. And then we've done Don't Let the Light In, and then The Corner. And then the thing we're working on now is our big project, is our first feature, which is going to be Kill Giggles.
All right, that's a perfect segue. Listen, I was going to say, we got this poster right here. We got the Killing Giggles. We got this lovely shirt right here.
The only one of its kind, but there will be plenty coming soon, I promise.
Oh, what a deal. I'll definitely have to have one of them. So listen, I believe we're going to take another commercial break, man. This is getting too. I don't want to take a commercial break. But sponsors, we know we love it. We love it. But we'll be right back.
They didn't teach stock market classes in school, so if you're confused about the stock market, you are not alone. There are many ways to get started with tons of choices. If you are serious about investing and planning for your future and the future of your children, then you may want to enlist the help of a professional. John Mazza of Southeast Financial Services is there to answer your questions in a way that is easy to understand. Give him a call today. Securities and investment advisory services are offered solely through Emeritus Investment Corp., member FINRA SIPC.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Listen, this has been one of the best episodes. I got Jaysen right here. Jaysen, you'll get some of your plugs in.
Plugs in? That sounds kind of weird. My plugs. It's gratuitous plugs. That's gratuitous plugging. www.madonesfilms.com. We're giving it a big giant facelift right now, but that's got all the upcoming information about screenings and our films and stuff like that. All the social networking things, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter.com/MadOnesFilms. That's where to be able to find everything. And then www.killgiggles.com is where we got all the information for the movie that we're working on.
All right, yeah, I seen this lovely setup.
Killing Giggles.
Will you tell me about this?
There's a couple of different things. There's Killing Giggles, and then there's Kill Giggles.
Okay.
I've been deathly afraid of clowns for many, many moons now, years and years and years. Sort of dating back to another one of my favorite horror movies, which I forgot to mention, which is Poltergeist.
Yeah.
Because the clown marionette scene in the original Poltergeist just, again, like, unhinged me.
Yeah.
A lot of people always want to think that it's Pennywise from It. The original Pennywise. I can't be scared of Tim Curry. It's Frankenfurter like that. That was never frightening to me. So I've been afraid of clowns for many moons, and having a very beautiful baby boy who's very popular, I figured it was a matter of time before he got invited to a friend's birthday party, and the entertainment du jour would be Bubbles, the floppy-footed fucker.
Yeah.
So I figured I had 2 choices. I could either have a very well-rehearsed story about where Jack's daddy disappeared to, when the truth of the matter is I'm locked in the trunk of my car crying hysterically like a little child, or I could get over this crippling coulrophobia and sort of kill all the clowns that I've ever wanted to, but do it in a movie and not get blood on my clothes or anything else like that. So the idea of Kill Giggles was born.
All right.
And I've spent 3 or 4 years talking about the idea, working on different versions of the script and stuff like that. And finally have the feature film script, the screenplay is ready to go.
All right.
However, we need lots of money to be able to make movies because they're not cheap. Even independent films are not cheap by any means, because to be able to pay the equipment and the people and the time and what they're worth and stuff like that, like the dollars add up. So what we wanted to do is we created a proof of concept short, which is called Killing Giggles. So Killing Giggles is essentially the first scene of Kill Giggles, but just to sort of be able to give investors and audience members alike a cinematic sense of the look and feel of what we're going for in the movie. So, and the first scene is just sort of nice and twisted. There's lots of sort of what the moments, and then it kind of ends, and people aren't really sure what to make of it. So we want people to be able to know that, again, it is a proof of concept. So we're testing this out primarily on the horror film festival circuit. We had our world premiere at MrCon, and then we'll be screening at we've got a couple other festivals that we're waiting to be able to get the okay to go ahead and announce. But some East Coast horror film festivals, which are quite amazing. So we're very proud of that. And then the screenplay, we're also doing that component of film festivals too. So it's kind of taking a two-prong approach, but trying to raise money. So if there are any potential investors out there, the fluorescent lights are very bright in here. Yeah. Any potential investors out there, if you've got money that you're looking, if there's any criminal activity going on, you need to launder money, might we suggest the avenue of independent film?
There you go.
It's a good way to be able to get rid of the money and make sure that there's no way to be able to trace it back to you, because we're probably not going to make it back. And any investors, anybody that, if you found gold in your backyard, you found one-eyed Willie's treasure, you're not sure what to do with it, we will take that treasure and turn it into award-winning movie magic for you, because that's what we've done in Mad Ones films, time and time again. We've been very lucky. We've made, a lot of the films that we've been able to make have done very well on the festival circuit. I think I made up a big list for the website. I think we're at 12 years together, 12 years in Mad Ones films, 16 films, 150 screenings, and then almost 30 awards between the last 4 films and stuff. So we've gotten very lucky in that we've been able to tell just absolutely fantastic stories. So for an aglet of a shoestring of a budget, so we're ramping things up and going from doing shorts to doing a feature and stuff like that. So that's what we're going to do with Kill Giggles, is just kill clowns wonderfully and brutally and horribly.
You can't go wrong with that.
You really can't. And we've got a nice twist on sort of the because a clown is it's a timeless terror trope. But we're sort of taking that timeless terror trope and turning it on its rainbow wig covered heads, because everyone, we've all seen the movies, heard the stories, the monsters, the murderers, the madmen, the serial killers that will dress up like clowns and commit their mayhem. We've got a serial killer of clowns, because that's how I'm getting over my crippling coulrophobia, is literally just watching clowns die in front of me and directed, which I think ultimately will result in making me a stronger, more moral fiber and character of my human beingness. So I'm like the new version of the hang in there kitten. I'm inspirational and motivational by killing clowns.
What a do.
You can't go wrong. Well, you could go wrong. I mean, nobody wants to hear about that. And we got to say something for the sequel, or the prequel, or whatever other things rhyme with equal.
Hey, listen, everybody, support this man. Listen, he gonna give you great entertainment. He's gonna put you over. Listen, go ahead and do support. How can they do that through the website?
Yes. We've got investor pitch videos, or you can all of our contact information is on the website. If you want to make donations on the website, we've got all those functions and features are available to you. If you want to be an executive producer, if you love clowns for some really weird reason that you might want to get checked out after you finish watching this episode, we're not going to judge you. There's gonna be like this much judging. I'm not gonna lie. But if you love clowns and you have fistfuls of cash, please come visit us at killgiggles.com. If you hate clowns and you want to see them die and you've got fistfuls of cash, come visit us. Or if you're somewhere in between, but everyone else is doing it, so why not you? Come visit us, please, at killgiggles.com.
Jaysen,
yes, sir.
Thank you so much.
It's been an honor and a pleasure.
Hey, it's been a great time. Ladies and gentlemen.